we present G.F. Newman's The Corrupted.
By the start of 1962, the Beatles had arrived and topped the pile of young music fans. It wasn't all plain sailing for them. They got rejected by the big record label Decca, who thought they would never make it to the charts. Then there was a trial of James Hanratty for the murder of a 36-year-old man in a lay-by at Dead Man's Hill. It was to be one of the most infamous miscarriages of justice. But my good friend Judge Melford Stevenson was insisting Hanratty was as guilty as hell and would hang. Well, he was right about the hanging. I could identify with Hanratty myself, having been convicted and sentenced for murders I didn't commit. Mine wasn't a capital offence, so I wasn't ever going to hang. But the long sentence I got, knowing I'm innocent, is like a death sentence. The other big news story earlier in the year was a bloke called Eric Lubbock, with a by-election in a one-eyed town called Orpington. It really put the wind up the Tories. My dad Joey was well fed up with them because of a bill they had just passed restricting immigration. It pacified some of the electorate, but most still saw too much immigration, especially of blacks and Indians. What mostly occupied Joey was how to get even with my Uncle Jack and Julian Turwitt for double-crossing him and stealing his hard-earned cash. What a mug. If I'd known Joey had 40,000 pugged up in his house overnight, I might have tried to rob him. Right now, I'm still trying to work up a plan to get even with my old man, along with all the others who had wronged me. But there I am, getting ahead of myself.
It's outrageous. What does this Harold bloody Macmillan think he's playing at?
Calm down, Joey. You'll give yourself an heart attack.
Oh, he's taking food right out of my mouth, letting them MPs of his vote to restrict immigration.
Those, not them, Joey.
What if I can't rent them? Those houses we've got, where will we be then?
Of course you'll rent them. You've got lots of tenants in.
You see what's happening. Some of them blacks are getting very uppity. You saw what they did in Notting Hill. Once that sort of thing catches fire, there'll be no stopping it.
But you always treat your tenants right, Joey. Not like that Peter Rackman.
Oh, finished for him. They'll do the same for me if this government doesn't buck its ideas up. I've got enough worries with that thieving brother of yours stealing my money with his banker crony. God, they've got something coming to them, or my name's not Joseph Oldman.
Come on, let's have our tea.
No, Cath. Tea's what we have in the afternoon. This is either our supper or our dinner.
It's only egg and chips.
We have to try and get these things right.
Eat it up before it gets cold. Who can that be, do you think?
I'm sure it won't be good news. Well, answer it, Cath.
This is Bayswater 5755. Of course, one moment, please. It's that lawyer of yours, Arnold Goodman.
You don't have to whisper. There's no secret in phoning me.
It's 6:30 in the evening. What can he want?
Only one way to find out. This is Joseph Oldman. So what do I owe the pleasure, Arnold? Nothing's wrong.
That could be right, Joseph. Are you free to meet this evening?
I was looking forward to take your pick on the telly.
You might be able to do just that with this opportunity.
Sounds interesting. Tell me a little more.
Not on the telephone, my dear fellow. Can you meet at my club? White's in St James's? You won't regret it, I'm sure.
White's? I'll be there.
You have to put on your best tie, Joey. Won't be like Jack's clubs.
I don't want to make too much fuss. It's not the Queen I'm meeting.
If you got a taxi there and back, you might still catch some and take your pick.
That's an unnecessary expense, Cath. I'll get the bus.
What do you think the lawyer is up to?
Whatever it is, it'll cost me money.
Well, you said often enough yourself, Joey. You have to speculate to accumulate. There. That tie's perfect.
Mr. Goodman's in the sitting room, sir. Just through there.
Oh, thank you.
Joey, my dear fellow. Oh, these damn chairs are deep enough to drown in. I think some of the members do just that and get wheeled out to the undertaker.
It looks the sort of place you wouldn't dare die in.
Some expire when they see their bills. Would you like a drink or a pot of tea?
Tea, milk and 2 sugars. Cath says it's more sophisticated to drink it black and without sugar.
George, tea for my guest with milk and sugar. It might be more sophisticated, but we know what we like, Joey. I'll have another G&T.
Thank you, sir.
Now let's sit down here where we can talk without being overheard. How much money have you got, Joey?
A lot to get, I hope.
Well, I hope I can help you get it.
I put all my money in tarmac.
It's doing rather well. Have you been following the share price?
Every day without fail.
That was money you needed to lose. I'm talking about money you can be seen to invest.
And where would I get this money?
My dear fellow, you have a good number of houses you could raise money on.
Houses I've worked hard to get. Most of them are paid for. I'm not sure I want to take on debt.
You did all right with tarmac. You'll do even better with this investment. A lot better.
I'm listening.
Have you heard of a company called Marples Ridgeway?
Building. Civil engineering, aren't I?
The managing director was our very own Minister of Transport, Ernest Marples. He had to put his shares in the company in trust and took no executive decisions in the company when he became minister.
But he's got friends.
You're clearly ahead of me. Our Minister of Transport is making sure his old company gets more than its share of contracts to build the new roads in his vision of the future.
Any guarantee these contracts will go to Marples Ridgeway?
If you're agreeable to being an investor, I'll introduce you to Sandy Winter, the senior civil servant handling the tenders for the work and issuing the contracts.
And what size of investment is wanted?
Well, that's entirely up to you. The more you put in, the more you'll prosper.
I'd see what I can raise against my properties once I've talked to this civil servant. What's he getting out of it?
A knighthood, plus 1% of all profits realised on any subsequent sale of shares.
That might be hard for him to collect.
This is all based on trust, Joey. This opening is only being offered to men of honour and good standing. You proved to be that when you invested in tarmac.
Let me talk to the bank. When do I meet Sandy Winter?
Why not right now? He's dining in the club. We could join him for dinner.
Oh, I've already had my dinner.
So have I, Joey. I can always eat another.
Your tea, sir?
Perhaps you'd bring it to us in the dining room, George.
We don't often see you in our modest branch of Martin's Bank these days, Joseph.
Man of modest needs, Keith. Never a lender or a borrower be.
If we didn't lend and people didn't borrow, we wouldn't exist.
I don't think there's any fear of that with this new confidence about. People consuming and not caring how much debt they get into to get a television set or a washing machine. Some even buying their own house.
Are you still involved with John Bloom and his Rolls-Razor washing machine company?
No, I got out, and with all my money.
Very shrewd. He's in a lot of trouble. The few shares I bought are all but worthless.
You hung on too long.
On your recommendation, Joseph.
What, to buy when I did, not to keep them?
What is it I can help you with today? I will if I can.
I want to borrow some money. Lots of it.
Can I ask what for? Some surefire scheme, I'll be bound.
Well, nothing is ever sure, Keith. Rule about investing is, if you can't afford to lose it, don't invest it.
I must give some of my customers that advice. How much are you looking for?
I've got 48 houses I rent out in Nottingham and Brixton.
All to Schwarzers, no doubt.
Well, they pay their rent on time. These houses are yielding £78,000 per annum gross. Net of tax and expenses, I'm collecting about £22,000. I'd like to borrow £40,000.
A tidy sum, Joseph. Do you own the houses?
Most of them are paid for, a dozen aren't.
The value of the 36 unmortgaged properties?
£72,000.
If you achieved market price, that might be a big if. No one wants a darkie for a neighbour.
Apart from another darkie.
Do any of them have that sort of money?
Most of those from the West Indies are hard working. I dare say they could get mortgages, if a lender is smart enough.
Risky. Did you try my brother-in-law for your loan?
Julian Turwit's a bank of last resort. Martin's bank will prove a good deal cheaper.
I'm sure we'll find you an excellent rate. Would there be something for me?
0.25% for every percentage point above base you save me.
Excellent. Better than anything Julian Turwit ever offers me.
Well, your brother-in-law never takes the long view. Too interested in making fast money.
Might I have my little slither in shares in whatever you're buying into?
Very shrewd move, Keith.
A loan of this size I'll have to get sanctioned. Ordinarily, head office wants 4% above base.
Not on your Nelly, Mr. Griffith. 3 above is a reasonable point to start negotiations.
I might be able to get you 1.5. Head office will require the property and shares as security.
Well, I can hold both.
My slither is £150. Agreed?
As soon as the loan goes through, shares to the value will be in your name.
A pleasure doing business with such an honourable man, Joseph. All I need now is the company you intend investing all this money with.
Marples Ridgeway, the civil engineering firm.
Ah, that doesn't sound very exciting.
Steady growth is what I expect. There's a lot of building to be done up and down the country. New roads to build. We'll see.
You'd never know this was the same nightclub, Jack. Not by day.
I saw customers don't come out much in the day.
Any idea what Joey's up to?
He doesn't consult me, Julian. And Brian doesn't see him and Cath much these days.
It's a lot of money he's borrowing from my brother-in-law's bank.
Why don't you ask him?
I would if I thought he'd tell me.
It would be lovely to grab some of that 40 grand if he moves it in cash.
Joey never requires a second lesson where money is concerned.
If it's that important, I'll get Brian to go pump his mum. She'll know. What about this cash Ronnie Biggs keeps talking about?
How much will there be?
Well, there could be any sorts of amounts in from Mel Sachs on the train.
If it is all used notes, as your bod claims, my bank could handle it.
But how much for, Julian?
That's the question, Jack. We want 40%.
Bollocks. You can spend them notes straight away.
Then your friend Ronnie Biggs and you won't have any problems. Spend away.
I'll see what they say, but 40%'s a bit strong.
There would be something on the side for you. But let's find out what Joey Oldman's up to first.
Oh, there's a singer for you, Brian. Why'd you listen to that Billy Fury and that Adam Faith?
It's modern, Mum. It's what everyone's listening to.
You're looking thin. Are you eating properly? I can make you an egg sandwich.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Are you worried about anything?
Not about where my next meal's coming from. I can always come back here.
Oh, I wish you would. Anything to get you away from Jack.
Dad still think he nicked his money?
I'd swing for him, brother or no, if he did. It put years on your dad losing that money.
Jack tried to find out who nicked it.
Your dad heard one of the men suspected of it used to work for Jack.
It's what he's doing now that's worrying, borrowing all this money. What if the building firm doesn't do well?
Oh, it will. The government's giving it lots of contracts. Ernest Marples, the transport minister, is making sure.
Dad should have waited, not borrowed against property. He could have got the dosh from Jack if his big robbery plans come off.
I hope you're not involved, Brian.
In armed robbery? Credit me with some sense, Mum.
Pongo! Where is he?
What's wrong, Jack? Place on fire?
Well, it could be for all you know.
I was in a carsy.
Well, crap on your own time. Get my partner, Mr. Biggs, a cup of tea.
Yes, boss. Right away, boss.
What's got into you? You gone stir crazy?
No, boss. I'll get the tea, boss.
Unless you want something stronger, Ronnie.
Tea's good, son. Keep your old head clear. Clear thinking gets us all on easy street.
Stretch inside more like it.
You want that E-type Jag, Brian? This is out. Either that or you save up your Green Shield stamps.
You only need about 6 billion, Brian.
How are you going to stop a train? Flag it down like a bus?
Ronnie's got it all worked out.
Oh, I suppose you could tie Pongo to the track. They'd stop then.
Not for a black man, they won't. Don't worry about stopping the choo-choo.
How many are you going to need for this great train robbery?
So money it won't be worth anyone's while.
There could be as much as 150 grand in them mill sacks.
All used notes going back to the mint for burning. Money you could spend in any pub in the land.
You could even walk into that Berkeley Square showroom and put notes down for your E-type.
Yeah, if I was mug enough.
You want some of this, son, or not?
I'm robberies for mugs.
Then piss off, Brian. See us on Easy Street. You won't get no E-type with Joey shares in a road building firm.
You'll end up nicked. And that crazy woman you live with will end up where she belongs.
Not with you, she won't.
No, in the nut house.
I'm warning you, Brian. Leave off. Hey, steady on. Got to wipe boss's tea here.
If this is going to be the carry-on here, I'll be better off with the Richardsons.
Them mugs, they'll rob ya.
Jack was dead keen on robbing this train with Ronnie Biggs. It was like his coming of age as a villain. I thought he was a mug and wasn't shy about telling him. I even thought about talking to the detective with whom I did most business and asking him to pull Jack out. Why was I keen to keep Jack out of jail? Perhaps I was a bit scared about running things on my own. If things got out of control, Jack would just steam in whacking people. Oh, I whacked people with the best of them. But when Jack did it, people sat up and took notice on account of him being a bit mad. But events were to overtake me and change the picture completely because of some moves Joey was making with the same policeman.
I appreciate you taking time to meet in my favourite tea shop, Mr. Oldman. I know how busy you are.
Joey, is everything wrong, George? Brian didn't say there was.
This isn't about the money Brian passes over for the police fund. That's all sweet, Joey. This is about the cash you had robbed.
You got it back?
I wish. We arrested one of the men who was almost certainly involved for burglary.
He didn't have my money.
According to him, he never had it. He and his partner were working for a percent fee, only they never got a penny because they didn't get all the money.
Was it Jack Braden?
That was who put them into the money. He then accused them of stealing the other 20 grand and beat up Cole Hicks, the man your wife identified.
What happened to him?
The man we arrested doesn't know. He escaped from Jack's club and never saw Cole Hicks again. It's like he never existed. We assume Jack killed him and got rid of the body. We can't prove that unless someone comes forward and identifies him.
Is that likely, George?
Not really. The most likely candidate will be that black man who works for him. Pongo. They're thick as thieves. We could interview them.
That's a waste of police time. And it would alert them.
Them?
Banker I did some business with, Julian Turwitt. He had to be involved. There's no other way Jack could have known about the money.
What would you like us to do, Joey?
Just keep your powder dry for now. I'll find a way to pay my brother-in-law back. I'll talk to my wife first. Yeah, do you still have that gun that Brian had?
You're not thinking about shooting him? I hope not.
Too messy and dangerous. I could go to jail.
Very bad for business.
Let me talk to Cath. Then I'll let you know what I want.
Double your money and try to get rich. Double your money without any hitch.
All I hope is he gets cancer. He deserves it doing that to you, Joey. After all we've done for him, we couldn't have done more. He sends jackals here to steal our money. Well, cancer's too good for my brother.
I'll pay him back all right. But I'd like to see your Jack get his comeuppance a bit sooner.
We could get Brian to ask those Kray twins to help.
Yeah, Jack's is likely to turn the tables on them. And what have you found out our Brian had set them onto him? We need to box clever, Cath.
What are you planning, Joey Oldman?
I'd like to see your Jack go to prison.
So would a lot of people. It ain't gonna happen, Joey.
It will if we make it happen. Thing is, Cath, could you see your own flesh and blood being shut away like that?
After what he done, I'd take a butcher's knife to him. He'd help that poor girl he's with. I keep thinking about her.
It's time that copper George Fenwick did some real work for all the money we pay him.
But what can he get Jack for?
There is something. Leave it with me.
And what about that thieving banker, Julian Turwitt? I'd see him under the wheels of a bus.
I mean not to get on your wrong side. If ever I needed reminding after the way you protected Brian all them years ago.
Isn't it those years ago, Joey? And I'd do the same for you and all, if anyone was threatening you. Come here.
I don't mean we can weigh Turwitt off at the same time. He might take longer to get even with, but we'll get him for what he did with Jack.
Maybe Turwitt will get cancer. He deserves it and all.
Let me give George Fenwick a tinkle in the morning, set things going for Jack. Turn up, Huey Green. Let's see if this woman goes all the way.
Just checking your secretary's not listening, Joey.
Rita, she's as silent as the grave. Made sure of that when I employed her. She knows better than to repeat anything she might hear.
I'm a detective inspector. I live in a world of grasses. They hiss information like a grass snake. That's how villains get caught.
No one's managed to catch Jack Braden.
He bungs too many old Bill. Knows how to keep 'em sweet. Especially my boss, Superintendent Drury. He might have to be put in the picture.
How much will that cost?
Undeniably, Drury's a greedy bugger. Let's plot something up first, Joey. What do you have in mind for Jack? He's not likely to go away for robbing you. Unless you want to put yourself on offer with the tax man.
You still got that gun I found that Brian hid at my house?
If you shoot him, you might end up like Amrati.
If I give you an anonymous tip-off about the proceeds of a robbery at Jack's West End flat, and the police raided and found that gun, would he go to prison?
For a nice stretch, I'd say. The problem is the gun's in my possession. I could be the investigating officer who finds it.
That's better if you're not involved, George. Get me the gun. I'll get it to his flat.
I'll get you someone reliable to call. Someone interested enough to raid Jack's flat.
Will Superintendent Drury be involved?
I think you can count on saving your money this time, Joey. Hairpin will be most upset about missing a bung. I don't think he'll lose any sleep if Jack goes to prison. I'll get the gun.
My Cath can pay a visit to Jack's girlfriend, Leah Cohen. Pathetic thing she is. I expect she could do with cheering up.
Leah, it's Cath. Leah, can you hear me? Open the door. Leah, I know you're in there. Come on. Come on, Leah, open the door. It's Cath.
You mustn't come in. Jack's not here. You can't.
Well, I came to see you. See if you was all right. Oh, Leah, look at you. You're not looking after yourself.
You shouldn't be here. He doesn't like anyone here when he's not. He'll get angry with me.
Let me deal with Jack. Why don't we go into the bedroom and do something with your hair?
No, you mustn't go in the bedroom. Jack doesn't allow anyone in there.
Calm down, Leah. You're trembling. What does that brother of mine do to you?
Nothing. Nothing, please, go before he comes back.
No bloody good is what he is, Leah. No good to you or anyone else. We'd all be better off without him.
If you're trying to trick me...
Of course I'm not. Come on, let's find a hairbrush. You need a nice perm. I've a good mind to take you right off to my hairdresser. Let's go look in the drawers for an hairbrush.
Oh, please, he might come back.
It's all right, Leah. You go and put the kettle on. We'll have a nice cup of tea. Go on. It's time you had a good friend to talk to. Go on.
Cath! Cath, over here!
Oh, I couldn't see you. You had me worried for a minute.
There's one of them Nazi traffic wardens about. Tried to give me a ticket. I had to move and come round again. Got worried in case Jack come back and caught you. You were so long.
That girl is so pathetic, Joey. A bag of nerves. Jack must worry her rotten. She's losing her hair.
Well, what can we do about it?
Well, I'd like to help her. She's not that arrogant little Jewish princess she was when she had her hooks into our Brian.
Did you manage to plant the gun okay?
Of course. In the bottom of the wardrobe, under some of Leah's shoes.
Well, Jack won't find it.
He won't be moving her shoes. Nor will Leah. She's not been outside the door in months. She's pale as a sheet and her skin's bad.
Well, maybe you can help her when Jack goes to jail.
When are you going to call the Rozzers on him?
Give it a few days. I don't want them raided straight after your visit, or Jack might get suspicious.
Yeah! I didn't tell her anything. I promise you, I didn't, Jack.
What are you talking about? Didn't tell her what?
I think she was a Cath, I'm not sure.
In here? What does she want? I told you never to let anyone in, didn't I?
No, please don't hurt me anymore! Please!
Get down!
Oh, Leah. I wouldn't hurt you for all the world, I wouldn't, Leah. I love you.
I'd do anything for you, Leah. Anything. Look at you. Come on, let's wipe away those tears. I always want to take care of you, Leah. Come on. Let's go into the bedroom.
No, Jack, I don't want to.
Yes, Leah. You do like you're told. I've got to get back to the club to meet some people.
Oi, Brian, where you been? That posh geezer's looking for you.
What posh geezer, Pongo? I know a lot of posh geezers.
The MP bloke that used to hang around you.
Tom Dryburgh? Where is he? Did he go?
In the bar with another posh geezer. Where's Jack? Ronnie Biggs is looking for him, says it's urgent.
It's always urgent with Biggsy. I expect he's got a train to catch. Tom Dryburgh, I presume. Still looking very dapper.
Not a word I like, Brian. Puts me in mind of a pompous little bank manager. By the way, dear boy, you still know how to dress?
I bet you still know how to undress a young man.
Oh, the young ones seem to run too fast these days, Brian. Let me introduce you to my good friend Jack Profumo.
Pleased to meet you, Jack. What's your particular poison? Booze, gambling, boys or girls? We can provide it all.
Oh, Tom said you were a plain-speaking young man. I like that. My preference is decidedly for the ladies.
Anything in tonight take your fancy, Jack?
As a matter of fact, that puppet at the roulette table with the red hair is rather fetching.
Christine Keeler. You'd know it with her. A real man-eater she is.
Would she be available for a little supper party with Jack?
I wouldn't want to tread on anyone's toes.
Don't give it a second thought, Jack. If she's here, she's available. Come on, I'll introduce you. I'm sure you can handle it from there. How much are you winning, Christine?
Enough to pay the rent for a month, darling?
Well, you can stop fleecing us for 5 minutes and meet a friend of mine. This is Jack Profumo. Jack, one of my all-time favourite girlfriends, Christine Keeler.
Hello, Jack. I think this might prove my lucky night.
Perhaps I can add to your winning streak. Do we need chips?
Here's strictly a cash game. Your money's as good as anyone's, Jack. Good luck.
Be an angel, Brian. Have someone fetch me a large gin and tonic.
My pleasure. Same for you, Jack?
Pink gin, if I may.
Come on, Tom. Let's have a chat at the bar.
It was a passionate love affair between Christine Keeler and John Profumo. I didn't know then that he was the war minister in Harold Macmillan's government. If I'd known, I'd have marked his card. Christine was shagging a Russian diplomat at the time. Mind you, I don't suppose Christine would have told Jack Profumo about that or about the other bloke she was shagging. It's ironic that Jack Profumo should survive what became known as Macmillan's Night of the Long Knives, when he sacked half his cabinet ministers, only to fall because of a bit of skirt. The press would say he was obsessed with Christine and had probably given her cabinet secrets which she passed on to her Russian lover, Ivanov. Whether she did or not, who's to say? I think he had a genuine fondness for Christine and she him. Terrific between the sheets is what I heard, and Jack Profumo was no slouch according to Christine. Of course she was a plant at the roulette tables and showed the punters how easy it was to win. All you had to do was keep on betting. When Profumo tried to play the same numbers as her, she lost and he ended up losing the thick end of 200 quid. He used to borrow some cash of Tom Dryburgh before he and I went off to a boys' own party. It was there I met up again with a sinister friend of the judge's, Sir Rafe Courtney. He really made my flesh creep.
I'm so disappointed that you didn't come and see me as you promised.
I've been busy, Rafe. I haven't stopped. Tom dragged me here.
Well, you're here with us now. That's what matters.
I want to go now. I'm tired.
Stop that. Get some more lemonade. You're not going anywhere. You and your friends are going to entertain me and my friends some more. We don't want you snivelling.
They're a bit young, Rafe. Where'd you get them?
We groom them specially in a care home in Bromley. Choose one, Brian. There are plenty. You can have one even younger if that's your preference.
No, that's all right. I've got to get back to the club.
That won't do, Brian. You're part of our select group now. You'd best choose a boy and experience the pleasures of very young flesh. There's one, Simon. He's 9. He knows the ropes.
I felt sick when I went to one of the bedrooms with this boy. He was as precocious and knowing as any rent boy I'd ever picked up on Clapham Common. I had no interest in him and wanted to get out of there as fast as I could. I thought I might have been watched somehow, but I had chosen the room. I talked to Simon. His mum was in the nut house and his dad was long gone. I felt sorry for him and wanted to help him, but how? He told me about the men who came to the care home in Bromley and abused the boys. Toffs, he called them. One was even in uniform, a commissioner of some sort in the Met. Some were in the papers, and I guessed they were senior politicians. I was right to be scared of Rafe Courtney and his cronies. Right to keep a gun handy. I knew then that I would kill that creep before I went along with what he was up to. I waited a reasonable time, then gave the boy £5 and sneaked out with him and told him to run. How far he got or where he went, I don't know. Some days later, I saw a story in the evening news about a boy in care who'd run away and been found dead in a ditch. I knew it was Simon. I was waiting for the hammer to fall on me for killing him, having crossed Rafe Courtney.
Jack, where you been? We got to talk, son.
What's so urgent? I need to do something about Leah. She ain't well.
We're near to the off, Jack. My people want to meet your banker who's going to handle the money.
What people? I ain't sure about that.
Buster Edwards and Bruce Reynolds want to meet. They got to know their money's going to be safe.
Of course it'll be safe. He's got a proper bank. I give him my word.
Jack, unless they get to meet your man, they'll put their money with someone else.
They try, that's all. Tell them they'll get plenty of trouble.
So we don't need this act, Jack. Me and you can sort this out. You talk to your man, see what he says.
I know what he'll say, Ronnie. They end up nicked, he's on offer. He's too smart for that.
Talk to him, Jack. I'll talk to Buster and Bruce, make them see sense. Like you say, you're guaranteeing it.
I'll talk to him.
What? So what about that girl of yours? You want some dust to quiet her down? I know a man who gets the good stuff.
You think it'll help, Ronnie?
Better than anything she gets from the doctor. Chill her right down, you see.
You're a diamond, Ron. I'll talk to my man tomorrow.
Are you out of your mind, Jack? Not on your Nelly, as your lot used to say in the army. I am not meeting those criminals.
If you don't, they'll take the money elsewhere.
Well, I'm sure you'll have something to say about that.
I will. The thing is, Julian, they could switch the job without telling yours truly.
I thought you were in charge.
That might not stop any double cross.
I run a legitimate tertiary bank here. I'd sooner not handle their money than be exposed to the possibility of their giving me to the police if and when they're caught.
It's a lot of money you stand to lose, Julian.
Well, there's no denying I could use a little extra. I have a scheme that might help keep the dun from the door.
What's that when it's at home?
Never mind. According to my brother-in-law, your brother-in-law is doing rather nicely with all the shares he bought in Marples Ridgeway.
Who wants to mess around with shares? This is real money.
So are the dividends Joey's getting. At the rate he's going, he'll be able to pay back the money Keith Griffith lent him.
Joey always was lucky with money. He's a Jew.
If I get my brother-in-law to recall the loan, I can then loan Joey the money to pay back Martin's bank and get the shares as security.
Why not just buy shares in this firm?
They've almost doubled in price since Joey got them. If I loan him the money, then foreclose, I can get them at the original book price.
It's easier robbing that train, Julian. They're red as you can spend.
My position doesn't change, Jack.
Tell the chaps. Good luck with Joey. I'd like to see that lousy kite go broke for a change.
Recalling my loan? You called me in here and sat me down with a cup of tea to tell me that?
I'm sorry, Joseph. This is from head office. They've had a run on money lately.
Well, I'd have to sell half my houses to pay the bank back, assuming I can. Well, it won't be quick.
There are the shares in Marples Ridgeway.
That's right, but now's not the time to sell those. Well, you'll have to give me more time.
There is no time. The terms are that the loan can be called in at 24 hours' notice. These uncertain times politically aren't helping, with the Prime Minister having sacked half the government.
Oh, very nice, Keith. I've helped you out in the past. Perhaps it's time to return a favour.
Our little business arrangements have been on a strict quid pro quo basis.
For the sake of friendship, Keith. Business with a human face.
Of course, never spurn the hand of friendship. And this is why I called Julian Turwitt on your behalf.
Oh, and he's prepared to take the property, all the shares off me hands.
His bank is quite liquid at the moment, looking for investments.
I bet it is. Frankly, Keith, I'd sooner go back to selling spuds and cabbages along the city road. I've got 24 hours. I'd better get my skates on. I smell a big fat rat, Cath. It takes me all the way to Mayfair and bloody Julian bloody Turwitt's bank.
Can't you rope him in with that plan for Jack?
I'd like to. I just don't see how.
Brian said Jack's planning some big robbery with a clown called Ronnie Biggs. He was sure Turwitt is handling the money.
It'd only do any good if he had the money there. Police would hesitate about raiding a bank, even a little piss hole like his.
What about Mr. Goodman, the lawyer? Can't he help?
He might. I'll give him a ring.
Thank you, Janet.
Harold Wilson rang, Mr. Goodman. He wondered if you could spare him 5 minutes at the Commons after the division bell.
Tell him I'll be there. One, Hugh Gateskill gets the chop. This is our next Prime Minister, and she didn't put him through, Joey.
I appreciate it. You can see how up against it I am, Arnold.
Money on such short notice is always expensive. There are several potential lenders. Isaac Wolfson is one, but he'd be no cheaper than Julian Turwitt and more cautious.
Cautious? You see what those shares are worth?
The logical question every potential lender will ask is, why don't you sell some?
You know why.
Well, we can hardly tell them that you're in the inner circle of friends of the Minister of Transport and he's shoveling huge amounts of work at his old firm.
So tertiate is my only option.
Once he's got the physical share certificates, he could foreclose on your loan.
Knowing Julian, I'm sure he would. Sell for the loan value and have a sidebar with a dealer for the added value.
There are many dishonest people, Joey. Share dealers aren't exempt.
He would need the physical share certificates.
He certainly couldn't sell you out without them. And I'm sure he wouldn't make the loan without taking possession of them.
I see.
What's so urgent, Dad? And why meet out here? What's wrong with your office?
I don't want anyone hearing about this. If Jack gets to here, I'll know the source.
I don't talk to him about your business. Yeah, he's still caught up with Ronnie Biggs on some blag they're planning.
In prison, you said you shared a cell with a forger.
Leonard Van Dyke, the best.
Then why was he in prison?
His missus caught him at it with a younger woman. Turned him in.
Would he do a job for me? My very survival might depend on it.
State of this place, Leah! Why don't you snap out of this depression? Pull yourself together! How can I bring important business associates to this pigsty?
I never know what to do that's right for you. All you ever need me for is a poke.
What else use are ya? Who's that? You didn't let no one come here, did you? What?
Jack Braden, I'm Superintendent Slipper. We have a warrant to search these premises.
Don't talk daft, there ain't nothing here.
Oh, we'll decide that. Let's start in the sitting room, then the bedrooms. Oh, and I want you to accompany my men as they sit.
Can't this wait till morning? My missus ain't well. You can't go in the bedroom, Leah's not well.
Either that or we arrest you.
Oh, Leah, move yourself, I want to look in here.
I didn't let them in, Jack. It wasn't
Shut
me.
up! What are you supposed to be looking for?
Stolen property.
Sir, I found this.
What's this? It's a gun.
Shut up! He planted it! You planted it! You must have done!
What's this for? Shooting mice? Jack Braden, I'm arresting you for the unlawful possession of a firearm.
You can't! It's not mine! It's not!
You're not obliged to say anything.
Phone Detective Superintendent Drury! He'll sort this out!
Hairpin Drury didn't respond to Jack's call for help. No one did. Even his brief couldn't get Jack out on bail as he awaited trial for possession of the gun that I got for my protection that Joey gave to D.I. George Fenwick and what Cath planted at Jack's flat. Meanwhile, Joey went to talk to the forger I'd met in Lewis prison and did a bit of business with him. A rush job, but with his same high-quality work. What it was, Joey didn't say. He only ever talked about his business on a need to know. If regular villains were as closed up as Dad, the police would never nick any. I was busy running the club and managing Jack's business while he was away, and inevitably the old jest with the Kray started up again. But I felt I was more than a match for them, with Pongo's help.
Joey, do come in, dear fellow. Such bad business with Jack. A gun, so silly.
We've been in a bit of turmoil. That's what caused the delay in getting the share certificates to you.
I thought they were coming straight over from Martin's bank.
I've got a good relationship with Keith. He trusted me to try to raise the money elsewhere. The first thing Isaac Wolfson said was show him the share certificates.
He still wouldn't make the loan?
Oh, he would. But not on quite as favourable terms as you, Julian.
I hope I'm not being too generous for old time's sake, Joey.
Well, a quarter point. A quarter is a quarter. That wasn't the issue. Arnold Goodman said Wolfson would sell me out first into trouble.
He's a shrewd businessman.
I know you wouldn't, Julian. I know you'd give me time to make good any shortfall.
Of course, dear fellow. Friendship matters too. And the share certificates?
Right here. Take good care of them. They're still going up in value.
It was a wonderful foresight on your part, Joey, buying into this company. We'll just get the formalities out of the way, and I'll get your loan cleared at Martin's bank.
Julian Turwitt was as good as his word. With the papers signed over to his bank, the money Joey had borrowed from Martin's bank went over to discharge the debt, leaving it with Turwitt's tertiary bank. Meanwhile, Joey started to sell his stock in Marples Ridgeway with a very discreet broker, passing over the genuine share certificates as he did so. At the same time, he quietly bought more shares in the same company for almost the same price. As tight as he was, Joey was prepared to forego the broker's fees in order to pay back Julian Turwitt. He was laughing as he bided his time before defaulting on his debt. That would see Turwitt trying to sell his shares, only to find they weren't worth the paper they were forged on. The real fireworks were yet to come between Joey and Turwitt, a long-running battle of wills as they both went up in the world. A world I was to get caught up in and suffer as a consequence. But there I go again, getting ahead of myself.
In G.F. Newman's The Corrupted, Joey Oldman was played by Toby Jones, Cath Oldman by Denise Gough, Brian Oldman, Joe Armstrong, and Jack Braden by Luke Allen Gale. Judge Milford Stevenson was Richard Wilson, Ken Drury, Profumo and the bank manager, Matthew Marsh, Leah and Christine Keeler, Jasmine Hyde, D.I. Fennick, Theo Fraser-Steele, Pongo, Chinawadu, Arnold Goodman, Edward Max, Turwitt, Jonathan Taffler, Tom Dryberg, Nigel Cook, Rafe Courtney, Nick Sampson, the usher, Ben Bruckshaw, and the young boy, Ned Leadbeater, with Ross Kemp as the narrator. G.F. Newman's The Corrupted was produced and directed by Clive Brill and is a Brill production for BBC Radio 4.